Hi everyone, this is Bethany. Thank you so much for stopping by Joyful Habits. Happy New Year, by the way, and also happy winter, happy new day. Very excited you're here today because we are going to be making 3 types of snow globes. These snow globes are pretty easy to make, inexpensive, and natural. We'll be making our own snow today. We're not using that fake plastic stuff from the store. Also, stick around for the end of the video because I wanted to share some thoughts with you on New Year's and also the recent poll that I put up on the community tab. If you missed that, be sure to keep an eye out on the Joyful Habits community tab for regular updates, behind the scenes, and questions that I post. But first, let's dive right in and make some snow globes. Okay, so for starters, what are we going to need for this project? We are going to need a glass jar with a lid. I'm using a mason jar here. You can also recycle an old pasta sauce jar, take the label off, give it a good wash. You could also use jars of different colors, sizes, really it's up to you. Just kind of look around your house and see what you got. Next, we're going to need some snow, and I'm not talking real snow, and I'm not talking fake snow from the store. We're going to be making snow today out of flour and sugar. The flour is going to be the main component of our snow, and then we're going to add the sugar in to give it a nice sparkle. Next, we need to decide what are we putting in our snow globes. Today, I'm going to be using a variety of different trees. I have a beautiful evergreen tree nearby, so I took advantage of that and went outside and snipped a few branches off. You'll see how that comes into play later on. We're also going to be using a hot glue gun and some twine and ribbon or whatever embellishments you'd like to include. Okay, so I'm going to be making 3 versions of this snow globe. The first one, this is basically what it's going to look like. And I've made these many times before, and at times I've just kind of thrown whatever in there and called it goods, but today we're going to be using a hot glue gun to attach the tree to the lid of the mason jar. This will ensure that it's a little more secure and stays in place so we can shake the snow around or move it around and not have to worry about it tipping over. Now you can probably use some other type of glue here, but I find a hot glue gun is very easy, quick, and dries super fast. And there we go, we have a tree with some very strong roots. I would say this tree could probably withstand a mini tornado. Although now that I think about it, I'm not really sure why it would need to withstand a mini tornado, but I guess it's good for whatever comes its way. And now we're adding some snow to our mason jar. Again, we're using the flour as the main component for the snow, and then adding in some white sugar, which adds that little bit of glitter and sparkle. Now once you put your snow in, you want to give it a nice little stir before putting your lid on. Once you put your lid on, you just flip it over, and there's our snow globe. I like how when you flip it over, the snow not only falls around the tree, but also flutters on top of it. Now you'll see I added quite a bit of snow here. You can definitely add more or less. It's all up to your preference or what you've put in your snow globe. Now we're going to be adding a little bit of embellishment to our snow globe. I know I say this in almost every video at least once, but the possibilities really are endless here. So look around your house, see what you have on hand, and just have fun with it. I'm going for a very simple, rustic, wintry look, so I'm using some twine here. I decided to wrap it around a couple times and then tie a simple bow. Now be sure to stick around because this is not actually the final product. I end up going back and tweaking it a bit, and I think it ends up looking a lot better. But for now, this is what we have. Okay, so I like that one, but let's make another one, just a little different this time. For this one, I'm using smaller trees, and I'm also using more of them. So instead of one tall tree, I'm using 3 clustered together to look like a little forest. Again, pull out your hot glue gun to make them tornado proof. I'm really liking the look of this, having the 3 grouped together. And now we just add our snow mixture. Stir it up, put our lid on, and turn the jar upside down. Now, if you've been around this channel for I don't know, more than one video, you've probably realized that nothing goes perfectly, and I usually have at least one thing go wrong in almost every video. So here's our teaching moment for today's video. Something I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video was when you wash your jars, make sure they are completely dry before you attempt this project. For two reasons. One, you'll have stuff sticking to the sides, which might look kinda nice, but it also blocks you from seeing the inside of your snow globe. And two, it's kind of a bad idea to have moisture in a sealed, confined space like this. It's just kind of asking for icky smells and a bunch of other problems. So make sure your jars are completely dry before you do this. Now moving on to embellishment. For this snow globe, instead of the twine, I'm going to be using a really nice soft cotton ribbon. But again, stay tuned for the end reveal because I end up going back and changing this one as well. Okay, and now for the third and final version of the snow globe. I've gotta say I like them all, but this one is definitely my favorite. We're going to be taking those clippings we got from the evergreen tree to put inside our snow globe. I do need to give one disclaimer though before we go any further. And that is, if you make this version of the snow globe, just know that it is a temporary decoration. The reason for this is because we're using a live plant, so it will die over time, the needles will fall off. So what I do is I enjoy it for the winter season, and then as spring rolls around, I empty out the jar, I give it a wash, and put it away. And I actually kind of enjoy this because then every winter I get to make it again. Now because this is a temporary decoration, you'll notice that we're not using a hot glue gun, I'm just putting the branches in the jar. Which actually worked out really well because I ended up picking 3 branches and I made sure they were all varying heights because I wanted that variety and I thought it would look really nice clumped together. But because I have them all clumped together and they're kind of poofy, they're actually holding really secure. But anyway, it's pretty straightforward. I put my branches in the jar, filled it with snow, screwed on the lid, flipped it over, and there's our snow globe. Now for the embellishment, I brought the twine out again, but this time I wrapped it around and around and around so that it covered the entire base. Covering that shiny metal lid really softened the look of it and I think made it look more rustic and simple like I was going for, and I really like it. And then on top of the twine, I decided to add that beautiful cream ribbon and tie a little bow. I loved this look so much that I ended up going back to the first 2 and wrapping the twine around some more so that it again covered the shiny metal lid and created a really nice base. And as I said, I love them all, but the third one is definitely my favorite. I'm curious, let me know down in the comments, out of the 3, which one is your favorite? I've made these snow globes multiple times now and I change it up every time. You can use different sized jars, you can use different colored jars like a blue glass jar. You can even keep them upright and put the tree in the bottom of the mason jar instead of attaching it to the lid. You can add twinkle lights, little figurines. Again, as I say in every video, the possibilities are endless. If you've been enjoying this wintry craft video, be sure to check out my winter playlist, which has all my other wintry inspired content. And you can also check out my creations playlist, which has all the videos where I try and make something, and I'll warn you now, it doesn't always go according to plan. And if you've enjoyed hanging out with me today, please consider subscribing and sticking around the Joyful Habits community, and be sure to say hi down in the comments. I would love to meet you. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, I wanted to share some thoughts on the new year as well as the poll that I put up on the community tab. I've been thinking a lot about the new year, New Year's resolutions, and all that stuff. As I'm sure most of you are, it's kind of all over the internet and on a lot of people's minds in January. I was curious what you all thought, so I put a poll up on the community tab asking you, do you make New Year's resolutions? The possible answers were yes, no, and sometimes. The majority of you answered no, with the second majority answering sometimes. Now, let me tell you, I'm a big goal setter. I make tons of to-do lists. I like to think ahead and plan things out, reach for goals and everything else, but I've gotta say I've never really been big on New Year's resolutions. Let me explain. When I was a teenager, I remember a friend asking me what my New Year's resolution was. And at the time, I really didn't know what to say because I had never made one before, but I gave it some serious thought, and this is what I came up with. I decided that at the start of a new year, if I could look back on the previous year and seen that I had grown in some way, impacted someone's life for good, learned something new, tried something new, if at the start of the new year I was a different person than I was at the start of last year, then I saw that as an accomplishment. Now, I don't mean every year I have to completely uproot my life or change my whole personality or move to another country, but I think if we are truly striving to live our lives, if we're truly enjoy the life we've been given, I think it's kind of impossible not to grow. And so I kind of decided that my quote-unquote New Year's resolution was not so much a hard set goal, but more a mindset. To head into the new year excited and looking for opportunity to grow, looking for opportunity to influence others for good, looking for opportunity to learn, just doing my best to enjoy life. Heading into the new year, looking for ways to grow, taking opportunities to learn, doing my best to impact others' lives for good, and so on. And throughout the year, I don't write down reminders like, oh, make sure you're learning things this year. I don't write down goals or ways that I need to accomplish this. I just try and keep it as a mindset. And by the end of the year, when I look back on the previous year, I'm always amazed at how much I've grown, how much I've learned, and how much I've changed. For as long as I can remember, I've always just had this burning fire in me to live life to the fullest. If there was food to try, I wanted to taste it. If there were places to be, I wanted to see them. I wanted to breathe in the fresh air, go on adventures. I wanted to dance and sing and learn languages and new skills, get better at cooking, learn how to quilt, learn how to sail, play instruments, travel, meet people. You get the idea. And this burning fire to truly live life to the fullest has led me to amazing places, has led me to some amazing friendships, and really enriched my life in a lot of ways. And is what led me to start the Joyful Habits YouTube channel, and what has led to this growing and amazing community. For those that know me, I've never really been big about putting myself on the internet. It's actually something I'm very much afraid of and uncomfortable with. And I've always just not liked that idea at all. I've never ever wanted to be famous. I've never, wanted attention like that. But I'm really glad that I stepped out and I started this YouTube channel because it really has opened up a lot of doors for me. It's given me some new perspective on things, and I've been able to interact with some amazing people in this community. And yeah, it's really brought me a lot of joy. So I just want to say thank you to those that are in this community and have stuck around with me. It really, really means a lot to me. But anyway, kind of rambling here, but I guess what I'm getting at is not whether or not you should or should not make New Year's resolutions. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're bad. I think whatever you decide is right for you is what's right for you. But I will say, no matter what your stance take some of that pressure off. You know, instead of setting these lofty goals and trying to be perfect, maybe shift your mindset a little bit to just enjoy and experience life in a selfless and joyful, kind way. A quote that I think is very fitting here, and one that was taped to my bedroom wall growing up, is this: "Life loves those who dare to live it." So this is my gentle reminder for you, friend, to dare to live your life. Dare to enjoy your life. Dare to enjoy your mornings, your evenings, your days. Just dare to live. And that does take courage. It takes courage to wake up and be happy, to decide that you're going to have a joyful day. Well, I've really enjoyed hanging out with you today. I hope you have as well. My name is Bethany, and this has been Joyful Habits, where we daydream and add a touch of whimsy to the ordinary. I'll see you very soon in my next video, and until then, keep smiling. Bye, friends.